Harold Jenkins was 78 years old, and for as long as he could remember, he had been the quiet backbone of his family. A widowed retiree living in a modest ranch-style house in a quiet suburb of Columbus, Ohio, Harold had spent the better part of his life making sure his only son, Brian, never wanted for anything. His wife, Evelyn, had passed 25 years earlier from breast cancer, leaving Harold to raise 16-year-old Brian alone. He'd worked double shifts as a machinist at the local auto parts plant, saved every overtime penny, and put Brian through Ohio State without a single student loan. When Brian married Lisa, a sharp-tongued marketing manager he'd met at a Buckeyes game, Harold paid for half the wedding, $18,000 he'd scraped together from selling Evelyn's old piano and cashing in a small life insurance policy. When the grandkids came, first Emma, then little Jake, Harold was there for every birthday, every Christmas, every emergency. He never asked for thanks, he just wanted to be needed. Over the years, the emergencies added up. Brian's startup, a craft beer distribution company, kept losing money. Harold quietly wrote checks, $40,000 to keep the lights on, $25,000 for a new delivery van, another $35,000 when a big client backed out. Then came the private school tuition for Emma, $22,000 a year. Jake's travel hockey team wasn't cheap either. Lisa wanted a kitchen remodel with the marble countertop she saw on Instagram. Harold covered the $28,000 overage when their budget fell short. Family vacations to Disney, to Cancun, to the Outer Banks. Harold always helped out with the flights or the condo rental. He never told them where the money really came from. When he sold his father's old commercial building downtown, a 3-story brick warehouse inherited in 1998, he'd taken the $450,000 proceeds and invested quietly through a financial advisor he'd met at church. Index funds, blue-chip stocks, a few dividend aristocrats. He lived on his pension and Social Security, drove a 15-year-old Buick, wore flannel shirts from Walmart. Brian and Lisa assumed Dad was just comfortable, maybe had a little saved up. They had no idea that by 2025, those quiet investments had grown to just over $2.1 million. Harold liked it that way. He didn't need flashy things, he needed his family. But families change. It started slowly. Brian stopped calling just to talk. Visits became shorter, more transactional. Lisa's hugs grew cooler. The grandkids still ran to him, but even they were starting to parrot their parents. "Grandpa, why do you always wear the same jacket?" Then came Harold's 78th birthday.
Brian texted 2 weeks before. "Big surprise party at our place, Dad. Don't make plans for Saturday." Harold's heart swelled. He ironed his best button-down shirt, the light blue one Evelyn had loved, and baked his famous oatmeal raisin cookies to bring along. He arrived at Brian's sprawling colonial in Dublin, Ohio at 4 p.m. sharp, carrying the cookies and a small gift for each grandchild. The house was packed, 30 people, neighbors, Brian's business partners, Lisa's yoga friends, balloons everywhere, a big "Happy 78th Harold" banner over the fireplace. Harold beamed. Brian clapped him on the back. "Come on, Dad, sit in the big recliner. We've got a presentation for you." They dimmed the lights. A projector screen came down. Lisa stood with a remote in hand, grinning. The title slide appeared in bold red letters. "Time to help Dad plan his next chapter." Harold chuckled nervously. "What's this now?" The next slide, a photo of Harold asleep in his old recliner at home, mouth open, TV remote in hand. Laughter rippled through the room. Another slide, Harold struggling to work his flip phone at last Christmas. Caption, "Still using technology from 2008. More laughter. Then came a photo of the garage at Brian's house, filled with Harold's old tools and boxes he'd stored there temporarily 5 years ago. "We need our garage back for the new boat." The room erupted. Harold's smile faltered. Lisa clicked again. A brochure image filled the screen. Pleasant Valley Senior Living Community. bottom-tier place, known for lukewarm meals and shared bathrooms. The text overlay read, "Perfect for Dad. Independent living, no more yard work, new friends your own age." Brian stepped forward, holding a comically oversized card. "We all chipped in, Dad. Happy birthday and happy retirement from, well, everything." He handed Harold the card. Harold opened it with shaking hands. Inside, in Brian's handwriting, "Dear Dad, you've been an amazing father, but let's be honest. You're getting a little forgetful, a little slow. The house is too much for you. The driving, yikes. Time to let us take the wheel, literally. We love you, but we think it's time you moved somewhere safer, somewhere you won't be such a worry. Love, Brian, Lisa, Emma, and Jake, and all your friends here who agree." The room burst into applause and laughter. Someone shouted, "Don't worry, Dad. They have bingo every Tuesday." Harold looked up. His son was laughing. His daughter-in-law was wiping tears of mirth. Even Emma, his sweet 15-year-old granddaughter, was giggling behind her phone. The cookie slipped from his lap and shattered on the hardwood floor. No one noticed. Harold stood slowly. "Thank you," he said quietly. This is something." He walked to the door. No one stopped him. He drove home in silence. That night, he sat in his recliner, the one they'd mocked, and stared at the wall. The humiliation burned hotter than any anger he'd ever felt. They thought he was broke, helpless, a burden. They had no idea. The next morning, Harold called his financial advisor, Margaret Chen. "Margaret," he said, voice steady for the first time in years, "I need to liquidate half the portfolio, quietly. And I need recommendations for luxury condos in Naples, Florida. Ocean view, gated, top shelf." Margaret didn't ask questions. She'd known Harold for 20 years. "Consider it done, Mr. Jenkins." 3 days later, Harold met with his estate attorney, Tom Whitaker, an old friend from the plant. "Tom, I want a new will. Everything that was going to Brian and his family now goes to the Central Ohio Foster Youth Scholarship Fund. Set up trusts for Emma and Jake. Accessible at age 30, only if they've had meaningful contact with me in the prior 5 years. Define meaningful strictly." Tom raised an eyebrow. "Harold, are you—" "I've never been surer of anything." Harold spent the next month quietly preparing. He sold the house, cash offer, 30 days. He donated most furniture to veterans, kept only Evelyn's wedding ring, a few photo albums, and his old fishing rod. He flew first class to Naples and bought a 3-bedroom condo on the beach for $1.4 million cash. Floor-to-ceiling windows, Gulf views from every room, private elevator, the kind of place Brian and Lisa would post about on Instagram with #blessed. He furnished it sparingly but elegantly. New clothes, a new Lexus SUV, a watch that cost more than Brian's failed delivery van. Then he wrote the letters, one to Brian and Lisa, one to each grandchild. He mailed them certified, return receipt requested. Brian's letter read, "Brian and Lisa, by the time you read this, I will be settled in my new home in Naples, Florida. You have no idea how much I've helped you over the years. Not just love and time, but money. Over $250,000 in the last 15 years alone. Private school, vacations, your business bailouts, the kitchen Lisa just had to have. I sold the old warehouse Dad left me decades ago, invested wisely. My net worth is north of $2 million, none of which you knew about because I never wanted you to see me as a bank. But that's exactly what I became to you. The birthday joke was the final straw. You humiliated me in front of 30 people to pressure me into a cheap nursing home so you could stop feeling guilty about ignoring me. I'm not angry anymore. I'm free.
I've sold the house, changed the will. The money I'd set aside for you now funds college scholarships for foster kids, kids who actually need it." The trust for Emma and Jake remained, but only if they choose relationship over obligation when they're old enough to understand. "I wish you well, truly, but I'm done being your safety net. Learn to swim. Dad." He included photocopies of the canceled checks, the investment statements, redacted just enough, photos of the new condo, sunset over the Gulf, his new car in the driveway. Emma and Jake each received shorter letters, gentle, loving, inviting them to visit when they were ready. No pressure, no money attached. Harold moved south in early November. The first morning in his new home, he walked the beach at sunrise. The sand was warm, the water endless. His phone buzzed nonstop for weeks, voicemails from Brian screaming, then pleading, then crying. Lisa left messages about family sticking together in tough times. Texts from Emma. "Grandpa, I'm so sorry, I didn't know they were being mean." He didn't reply. By Christmas, the calls stopped. Harold joined a fishing club, took golf lessons, volunteered at a local animal shelter, made friends who liked him for his dry humor and terrible dad jokes, not his wallet. One evening in January, he sat on his balcony watching dolphins play in the waves. He raised a glass of bourbon to the sky. "To you, Evelyn," he whispered. "We did good, and now I'm finally living." Back in Ohio, Harold's business folded without the quiet infusions. The private school tuition became a stretch. The boat never made it out of the showroom. But that wasn't Harold's concern anymore. He'd spent a lifetime being forgotten. Now he was unforgettable, on his own terms. Thanks for watching Grace's story today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps a new channel like mine. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next one. Take care.